Testing. 1, 2, 3. And last but not least, plug this in. Excuse me. All right. Number 1. Oh, it doesn't work again. I have to go into the settings, click the button. Interesting. It doesn't work. Or is my camera covered? That's the secret. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Number 1. Today is a connection episode. I have a couple of announcements though. Some bad news, unfortunately. First off, my dad fell off of a ladder and really injured himself. He fractured his pelvis in a couple places and even broke a couple of his discs in his spine. So, yeah, I talked to him. He seems to be in surprisingly good spirits, although he said he's in a lot of pain. He's still at the hospital, but so I'm going to be going up there. I decided I'm just going to drop everything, shuffle my schedule a bit, and go up there for about a week. And yeah, so I don't really know what's up with the live stream. I'll probably try to do a little bit of live streaming all of that while I'm there, but I don't have the whole setup, so it'll just be a little bit different. For example, I might only be able to go to Twitch because I'll probably be doing it on my phone. But yeah, so I'll try to stay connected with you guys, keep you guys updated. What? Your food's right here. Yeah, so that's a bummer. I guess actually really my parents have been suffering a lot of injuries lately, and it's kind of scary, you know. So fortunately I live much closer than I used to for most of my life, so I'm able to go up there and kind of lend a hand and support. So I'll be doing that. So other announcements, well, I'll probably just write this elsewhere, but I won't be streaming. I don't think I'm going to be streaming to Instagram or Facebook anymore. I'm not really sure that has any meaning or use. It seems like most of the people that I connect with, probably 8 out of 10 of them are from Twitch, and maybe 2 of them are from Kick. And I don't know, maybe 1, maybe 0 from YouTube. But at least YouTube has a bonus feature where we'll completely save all your videos, whereas all the other ones, we'll just delete them eventually. So it's nice to have a little archive there. So I'll probably just stick to those 3 platforms. But with that said, I'm going to get started. What we're supposed to do today, I'm still sort of playing with the format of how everything works. And as I use these platforms more and use live stream more, I'm realizing, well, what works and what doesn't. And I had someone suggest to me last night, very helpful, after kind of going back and forth with them, that I should probably just have more dedicated hangout time. Because right now, how I set up my schedule, pretty much everything is like, we're going to do this mobility thing, we're going to do this like workout, we're going to do some meditation, we're going to do some topic discussion, we're going to do today, for example, this connective heartshare activity. But it doesn't leave a lot of room for just chilling and hanging out. And so when we were doing that yesterday, that was really cool. That was as much fun as I've ever had live streaming. So I realized I need to set aside dedicated time where I'm just going to be on and hanging out. We're not like doing something necessarily. And so I've added to the schedule, and I'll probably be tweaking the times a little bit, just a hangout session basically after every day, except for the 2 days where I'm doing an evening thing. And also, yeah, in general, I think I want to, I don't know, it seems like one of the most valuable things for growing my channel and networking with people is just being around a lot. And so, like I said, I'm going to kind of double down on live streaming and rather have it be some sort of little side activity like an offer that's cool but not really the main focus. I'm gonna kind of take it more seriously and kind of like go more into it and consider like actually trying to seriously grow my channel rather than being a bit more passive about it and being at peace with whatever happens. I mean, I'm still at peace with whatever happens, but I know I kind of thought of it more of as a side hobby at first, whereas my first focus would be, fitness, maybe like opening up a fitness studio, and that can still be part of the plan, but that's definitely more of a long-term goal. And so, I'll put some more energy towards this. So there'll be more hangouts. Just keep an eye on the schedule. And but yeah, during this week I might be a little busy, and yeah, I'll be at my parents' house, so we'll just have to see what I can do. But it might just be like all hangouts or something, or we'll see. So yeah. If there's not a lot of activity in the chat today, every day is going to be different, I'm sure, and not a lot of people around. I don't know, I have at least one viewer, might be a bot. I'm actually just going to use this time to start sort of looking at my schedule and figuring out transportation to get up to my parents' place. I have a doctor's appointment I got to reschedule, things like that. But if other people come on and they want to participate in this connective activity of heartshare, I am completely open to switching gears, because this was on the schedule and I like to do my best to meet my commitments where possible, and I think this one is reasonable to swing. And, my dad's, he's in a stable condition. He's not in like gonna die anytime soon, hopefully. So I have some time, but I'm gonna try to go up today or tomorrow. We'll see. All right. Oh, interesting. So this is actually the first time I decided to open up the Twitch streaming panel because, normally I'm using Streamlabs, right? So I'm like in this separate software and it gives me like a little bit of information, but it doesn't give me everything. So I decided to open up the Twitch Stream Manager, and yeah, I actually kind of like this view better. Maybe I need to figure out how to kind of put this on the screen at the same time as the other thing. But it still doesn't say. I see. Okay, I thought it would tell me who's watching. It doesn't. Just how many people are watching. But I can clip something? What is this? I'm going to click that button. 30-second clip created. Okay, so like creates a clip if you see something cool. Oh, that's handy. Why don't I have that feature in Streamlabs? Like if something cool happens in the last 30 seconds, then you can click the button and it'll like snapshot it and save it somewhere. What a handy feature. Chat, collaboration, manage goals. Wait, what's stream together? Baby. Don't eat my cord. I don't think you'll like the flavor of that. Okay. Okay, wow, it's making me jump through every single hoop just to figure out what this thing is. Hey, baby. Are you in a nuzzly mood? As a security measure, enter the 6-digit code we sent to your email. All right, I'm waiting. Hey, baby. You're so snuggly and nuzzly. What's going on? You want a special treat? Is that what? Special treat? Special treat? Whoa. Oh, you don't want to be flipped. You don't want to be flipped. She's in her curious mode. It's been quite an experience raising cats from kittens and like being the full attentive parents. You know, I had cats growing up. My parents had cats. I think we had up to like 9 cats. So I have a lot of experience with cats. But it was kind of different because it was more like their cats. Like they were the main owner. I mean, that's a family cat, sure, but you know, it was like I was going to school. So it was more like, you know, they would make sure to feed the cat, make sure it was fed. Like if they had to go to the vet, like they would do it, right? It was more like their cat. And like we got to play with it and all the benefits, but didn't have to do the work of like raising the cat, so to speak. Yes, I do speak English. Nice to meet you. Jewel, Li Su. Yeah, do you have cats? So yeah, I mean, the difference between like, and then you grow up and you get your own cats, and you are fully responsible for the well-being of these amazing, beautiful beings. Hi, Julie. It's just night and day, and you know, I learned so much more about being a parent. Oh wow, that is pretty late. Why are you coming home so late? Don't tell me you were working that late. If so, I hope they pay you a lot of money. Or maybe you're out partying. The other thing about cats, if you get a long-haired cat, you just have to accept that you're going to be covered in clothes. Oh, drinks with friends, cool. Sunday, yes it is. Oh. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Whispering? Like you can send people messages? I did not know that. Yeah, I'm still learning. I'm still newbie. For sure. Let's see. Wait, how did you know that so fast? You're typing so fast on your phone. Are you a robot? Please don't be a robot. Please don't be a scammer trying to make me buy your crypto. All right, well, it's good that you're actually like sort of responding to me. That's one step in your favor, because I get a lot of bots that just like say, hey, and then they wait a little bit and they're like, you should join this Discord and I'll help you get followers. And now it makes me like, do I even respond to people when they say hey anymore? I don't know. 50% of the time they're just a bot. So I believe you. Privacy settings. Oh, like personal settings, not my Twitch stream settings. Okay. Left click. Well, for that, I need to go back to the channel, right? I need to go to my stream. No, I need to go stream manager. and then click you, block, follow, invite, whisper. You have blocked whispers from strangers. Oh no, it won't let me. Before you continue, please verify your phone number in order to proceed with this action. Okay, well I'm actually literally waiting for an email for doing just that. But you can always just whisper me on Discord. My Discord link is on the video. If you're on mobile, you just go to this website. And if you're on desktop, you go to this website. Yeah, Discord is, I thought Discord was universal. Everybody uses Discord. Oh, what do you use? QQ chat or whatever it's called? Weibo. Yeah, that's a big one over there, I hear. I don't know, I'm a little bit nervous about some of those, you know, the privacy. I'm not sure a lot of you know, your privacy is respected using those apps. So I try to use things like Signal wherever possible. Encrypted end-to-end communication. But it's not really a social platform. It's not like, you know, a huge platform where you can like buy things. But yeah, so I need to confirm my email. The problem is I have 2 Twitch accounts. My number is associated with another Twitch account, so they won't let me confirm this number until I do something with the other account. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm figure it out. I'm chilling. How's it going? What brought you? How did you discover me? Can I ask you that? Because I'm brand new. I just started. I only got 8 followers, and I'm always wondering how people find me because I don't know, kind of like a niche streamer. Oh wow, that's amazing. I'm getting recommended. That's great. Maybe slowly over time, I will be slowly recommended to enough people to grow my channel. I could be a partner. But yeah, this channel, welcome. It's all about health and wellness. So I do things like I do exercises twice a week, and we maybe add a few more, where I do like fitness training. We might do Pilates, we might do dancing, and then we do some mobility work where we're kind of moving our bodies a bit more and kind of staying flexible and strong. We do connective activities. Yeah, I'll check that option. Twitch settings, privacy. Privacy center. No, that seems wrong. Privacy center. Settings. Security and privacy. I see, I see, I see. Block whispers from strangers. Okay, I turned it off. Why would somebody want to block whispers from strangers? Isn't the whole point of live streaming to meet cool new people? Everybody you don't know yet is a stranger. But I guess maybe like if you're super famous, wow, you're sure. Oh, I can't. So I saw your messages, but I can't respond to you because it says you must verify your number in order to proceed with this action. So I can only respond to you verbally, which I guess defeats the point of private messaging. So I have to figure this out the hard way. Actually, I have another phone number. I'm going to use that. Let me just try to remember exactly what it is. Oh, I remember. Okay, I'm going to use a different phone number. Continue. What? It won't work. I'm 39. But I have the body of a 25-year-old, according to someone from yesterday. Yeah, I guess it won't work with my Google Voice number. That's too bad. I hate when they do that. You know, when websites like block your Google Voice, or they block your I have like relay email addresses to protect my email address. But anyways, I'll figure that out. But yeah, how's life? What's going on for you? I'm still waiting for that confirmation email. Did you get that message that I just wrote? No, you didn't. Okay. I'm from New England, near Boston. Yeah, I typed a message and it looked like it sent to you, but then like after delay, it was like, nope, you can't do that. So I wasn't sure if it actually went through. But okay, yeah, I can talk to you this way. Sure, I don't mind. I mean, it's whatever. I'm at peace with everything. Taiwan, it's a place I wanted to go to, actually. I've only ever been to the airport. I didn't actually leave the airport, unfortunately, but it would be cool to visit. That's understandable. Yeah, I mean, do I need to know Chinese, Taiwanese? Am I gonna, do a lot of people speak English? Thank you. You speak English? Yeah, elderly. That's kind of common. I get it. I actually really want to learn Chinese. Well, I think it'd be really cool to speak many languages. Um, I think it'd be cool to speak Russian. I think it'd be cool to speak Chinese. I think it'd be cool to speak Arabic. I think it'd be cool to speak German. But all that work to learn all those languages. But yeah, how about you stop by next? Actually, well, that's not going to happen. But I do workout videos all the time, so you can totally get what you want. In fact, I have previous live streams you can check out on YouTube. Did I get the email? No. No. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. But I mean, that's interesting. I mean, that's an interesting request you have there. I'll tell you what, come to my next workout video and you'll see that all the time. I feel pretty comfortable. This is my incentive for you. And heck, come work out with us. What's the worst that can happen? You know, you'll get healthy, you'll live longer, you'll be more confident in yourself. You'll be able to pick up a bowling ball like it's a golf ball. It is human nature. I'm sorry, another person messaged me. But again, I can't respond to anybody. So if you're still watching and you're wondering why aren't I responding to you, it's because I can't type until I verify my phone number. I can't verify my phone number until I log into my other account and check a little box that says allow this number to be used on multiple accounts. But I can't log into that account until I get a verification email. And so I'm waiting for the email. That's where I'm at. Sure. Again, I'm at peace. I'm comfortable. I'll try to give you the most honest answer possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to see what things I need to move around. Call my brother. Did that. Doctor's appointment. Wow. I think you could guess, but maybe guess inside your mind only. Oh, centimeters. Ugh, I gotta do the math. You know, carry the 2, divide by 5. Centimeters. That seems really small. 15. What? That's so small. Are you kidding? Okay. My list is to reschedule 2 appointments, doctor's appointment, and interesting, TBA. Hello from the UK. Okay, there's like just, I'm realizing one big flaw of the whole like allow private whispers thing. It's a lot to manage. I never would have, yeah, I just like, I have a stream chat, I got like private chats, I got Discord, I got the problem, I wish I could just message you, but I can't. But yeah, sure, fine, way up, way up. And I need to figure out a way to block these guys. Kick fam spammers. Is that like a word I could add to my Twitch bot? Let's see if I can do that. But welcome everyone here who is also human, whether that's X22323, Akeem, ZX. If you're human, much love. If you're a robot, I still love you, but I'm not gonna chat with you unless you can prove that you're sentient. Then I would love to chat with you. If you're a sentient AI, I'm very interested. Up. 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 Now I know what I was warned about. Okay, this is not, why is that not working? I'm still waiting for this email. That's about, probably around there. Okay. I'm just going to make a note to myself to do this later. Figure out why I can't add my number to Twitch so they can stop blocking me from doing things like whispering people. That's on my to-do list. But yeah, it just becomes kind of a lot to manage. Yeah, I can't. I'll try typing again. Nope, it blocked me. So we're gonna have to figure out a different way. You should just get Discord. Everybody who's cool uses Discord. Just kidding, I don't know. Discord is just handy, but I don't like how they like stuff nitro down your face. Get nitro, get nitro. Are you still on the bus heading home? Do you like my hair? I just started growing it out a couple months ago. It's so voluminous. Oh, hey, yeah, what's up? Welcome back. Cool. Yeah, I'm actually wondering if it was a bad idea to do Discord. Like, always second guessing myself and my decisions that I make. Well, I was like, what is the business model of Twitch? Right? The business model is you're a live streamer, you connect with people, and you talk with them on Twitch. And basically at some point, I don't know when that point is, but at some point you can like start doing like subscribing things or something, and people can subscribe and then they get like some elevated chat privilege or something, or maybe like the streamer prevents people from talking unless they're subscribers. And so then people have to pay to type, to talk, to like connect with the streamer. So if I just offer Discord and everyone could talk to me anyways, then there's no incentive, right? Like, why would people ever subscribe? So, I mean, I'm hoping people will subscribe because they love me and they want to support me. That would be nice. And then we could just do Discord but I'm like, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot here. I don't know. I still don't know anything. Yes, Julie, get Discord. If you want Discord, I mean, if you want to communicate with me, where I can actually type back to you, you're going to have to get Discord or Signal. Because, yeah, I'll figure out the chat maybe one of these days, but, yeah. What do you mean it's so elusive? That sounds like a good thing. Yeah, I have Instagram. It's on my website. It's really the simplest website in the world. njb.fyi. Boom. 6 letters. And if you just look at that, you can go to the bottom and there's a link to my Instagram. And really all my social media. But you know, I have a lot of social media and I'm kind of like, should I even list them? Because I don't really use them. Right? Like I don't really use Facebook that much. I have it, I've had it for a while, but I'm not on it, you know, I don't really use it. So if people message me there, it's very possible I won't even like hear them. I won't even notice that they sent me a message. Instagram, same thing. Well, I created a new Instagram for this because I was like, maybe I need to like separate my like, you know, current Instagram that has like a lot of like private like life stuff from like my new like brand Instagram. But are you in Thailand? Because I looked at my stream. Are you on like a VPN or something? I looked at my stream activity for yesterday. You can look at like analytics, like where did the people who watched your video come from? And there was like a person from Singapore, and there's a person, like 3 people from the United States, and like 1 person from the UK. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, because I didn't notice anyone from Thailand, I'm like, this person lied to me. Or she's on a VPN. Yeah, go ahead and create it, Julie. That's the best way. It will open up your world. It's so easy, just a quick little app. But yeah, Instagram is one of those things too where, well, first of all, I created a new one to kind of segregate my personal life from maybe what this, you know, this could be like a separate brand identity or something. I gotcha. I use a VPN all the time. When do I think I'll visit LA? Oh, I don't know. But I do need to go there and pick up some stuff from my storage. And I want to visit my family down there. So we'll see. But probably within 6 months. But wait, so you're there just visiting, or you live in LA now? I thought you were telling me to come to Thailand. I see. What a nice life you have. You have a home in Thailand and you can just chill at. You live in LA. Can you be my sugar mama? That is a hell of a commute. What's up, Micah? Wait, I don't think age matters. I think you can be like a 10-year-old sugar mama, technically. I thought it was just about how much money you have. But I'm not an expert on what the definition of a sugar mama is. But yeah, I do really want to go to LA. I need to pick up my camera. Critical piece of equipment. But I also have other things, like I have one of those stream decks, so you can just like set buttons on it and click things and like automatically switch scenes and do things like that. I have, yeah, my $3,000 camera. I have a Rodecaster Pro. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's like a really nice, simple soundboard kind of thing, like audio soundboard, so you can like make it easy to manipulate sound inputs. So I have a lot of stream. I have like a bunch of soft lights to like get better lighting, because right now it's just like overhead lighting and it's not necessarily the best. So I just have a lot of stuff there that I want to grab and bring over here. That's probably a good idea. That should be a clip. Where's that button? I'm still figuring this whole thing out. It looks like Twitch is where most people come from. Like I said, I'm doing this like Streamlabs thing to go to like multiple locations. But the only people I get from Kick are spammers. I guess Twitch is still the king. I added you. I accepted your friend request. Hey. What you drinking there? Tea. Okay, so I don't know if you were here earlier, you might have missed the bad news, but my dad fell off a ladder like 10 feet in the air, and he fell and he broke his pelvis and his spine, like the base of his spine. So he's in the hospital now and like in a lot of pain. And so I'm gonna be traveling up there like today or tomorrow. Like I have to look at tickets, I have to rebook some things, change my schedule. But if you were gonna come by, I had planned to do like a workout live stream with Nicole and some other folks. Probably gonna have to postpone that. I think he's fine. He's stable. You know, he's not in any critical condition. He's just in a lot of pain. And I think they're gonna release him tomorrow, he said. And so I was just like, let me come up there, let me help. My parents are normally very much like, no, don't come over here. We're really good. We can take care of themselves. They really value like their independence and their ability to take care of themselves. So I was like, no, please, let me come up, let me help. So he's like, fine, fine, fine. So it's good. You know, he's going to be in pain. It's going to be hard for him to move and get stuff. And I'll just be able to help around the house. So I'm going to probably do that tomorrow. But yeah, I think he's okay. So that's good. It's just there's been so many incidents. My mom also broke 3 of her ribs in like a separate incident. She was just walking and she tripped and fell and broke 3 ribs. And she's at work today. She's like, oh, it's okay. I just like patch it up and keep going. Like, what? Who does that? And before that, like 2 weeks ago, my mom she had like a heart like palpitation issue. And she was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. So I don't know, my parents are getting old. They're in their 70s. And, you know, it's just this like point where, yes, bubble wrap them, something, I don't know, but I'm glad that I'm nearby now, because for most of my life, they were in Boston and I was over in California. So if anything happened, it was like a little bit impractical. I couldn't just like quickly take like a bus or drive over there. But now that I'm much closer, I can sort of help out. especially when most of my other siblings are very busy. You know, they got like jobs. One of them has a kid, so it's just a bit trickier to like help out. And so yeah, that's my life. But hopefully my brother can come up and help too. He's nearby. He's even closer. But he's super busy with work. So yeah, I will be updating the stream schedule. Heck, I'll do it right now just to get on top of it. Family medical emergency. I'll be postponing the usual stream schedule and instead play it more by ear. I should actually, it's so important. So this stream for me is like, you know, the culmination of all the years of sort of like wisdom that I've acquired about eating well, about exercising, about meditating, about connecting with others and forming strong friendships. And yeah, absolutely. I think that's these are some of the things that my parents completely did not address. And one thing is like being healthy into old age, right? Like I have this image of my grandparents and they were like so frail and like walking around at like 70, they could like, if a little twig dropped on their shoulder, they would like break their shoulder. They were so frail. And my parents are like kind of getting to that point. I'm like, like it's not too late. There are some exercises you could be doing to like build up a little bit of your muscular strength, like increase your bone density so you're not super frail. And like just do mobility exercises to like make sure that you're like staying mobile. So yeah, it's really important. Like you can't sleep on exercise. It's something that if you don't want to be a super frail person into old age, you got to just commit to doing a little bit of exercise throughout your life. So yeah, maybe I'll try to get my parents. That's a good idea. Invite them to do live streams. I'll change the channel, parent live streams, and we all get our parents to be healthy. That'd be cool. Oh no. I hear my dog barking very loudly, and I hope he didn't find the opossum again. Might just be the mailman. My dog attacked an opossum last night. It was crazy. I've never seen him do something like that before. It was like hissing in a corner, and he had it cornered there. And yeah, I thought he was just going to keep barking, but no, he lunged forward and was like, ugh. I thought the guy was dead completely. But somehow it managed to scimper away. So I just hope it actually left and learned its lesson. Hold on, I need to check on the dog. He keeps barking. I will be right back. I apologize. Rex, what's up? I wonder how far this audio transmitter translates. Oh my God, you're such a messy eater. Do you want some water? Oh, he's thirsty. Okay. I think he's good. Oh, I know, it's not your favorite. You want steak. You want the good stuff, the delicious wet cat food. I know, you're such a cutie pie. Okay. That's what you want, water and attention. I'll give you a little bit. Here's your belly rub. Sweetie. It's a party up here. It's okay, baby. All right. That is resolved. I'll just wash my hands. And I'm back. Very heavy breather, but it could have been a mix of both there. Did you guys hear all that? I'm curious. Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. That's cool. So I can kind of like walk outside and concert industry. Yeah, exactly. I've seen some fitness people. There are some people at the gym that I go to, and just even online, like see pictures of people who are like 80 and like jacked, and they move around like they're still like 40. So it's totally doable to like kind of keep your mobility. It's just, you got to look at it like it's a lifestyle decision. Oh, Julie, I saw your message. It's on my website, njb.fyi. Just scroll down, you'll see a little Instagram icon. Oh God, Rex, you still want some love and attention, I know. You hear that? Oh, I love animals too much, I can't ignore them. I'm gonna say hi to Rex. Rexy boo. Oh, now you just. Yeah, Rex is dog. I think he's 14 or something, or like 13 or something. I would know, but not actually my dog, but family dog. I'll be back in a little bit, okay? I love you. Oh, I love you too, baby. All right. Life management. Oh, thank you. Yeah, beautiful rag dolls. Do you want to say hi? Come here. Whoa. This one is Lily. Hey, baby. You want to say hi to the world? She's got big blue eyes and a mini mane. Hey, baby. You're going to be internet famous. You're going to be more famous than me. I bet. Yeah, she's a loud purrer. And yeah, if I could heart that comment, the reported connection between ongoing physical activity and dementia, I would. Can I do that? What are my options? Hey, baby. This one is food motivated, Lily. So she's actually quite trainable. If I was a professional trainer, I could probably get her to do like circus tricks, like anything basically, because she's super food motivated. The other one, Siri, short for Cirilla, is not food motivated. She won't do anything. I can barely get her to come here when I say, come here, baby. This one, she'll do a lot. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Okay. Did you send me a friend request? It's very easy. My Instagram name is the same as my Twitch username. I was fortunate. In fact, everything about every social media, Instagram, Discord, all that stuff. It's just Nathan J. Buckley. The only one that's not mine is Facebook, but that's okay. I don't really care about Facebook. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Hope to see you in the future. And get some rest. It's pretty late for you. Sleep well. I need to figure out, I need to write down, what do I need to pack? I need to pack my laptop. Water bottle. Oh. Are you talking about Discord or Instagram or what? Which one? Insta. Okay, yeah, I see. I think I can click. Yeah, I'll try to see if I can. Hi. Did you get that? Communication established. Of course, my pleasure. Okay. Okay, well, I don't want to keep you up. It's very late. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around. I just gotta figure out a few things. Cancel doctor. Oh yeah, she's so cute, isn't she? She just chills, like anywhere that's comfortable, she just like hang down. It's so funny. I love you, Siri Boo. You're such a relaxed boo. She's like super zero anxiety. If I've ever met a cat, I don't know if I've ever met a cat that's as low anxiety as her. She's just chilling. And she makes friends really, really easily. Compared to Lily, who, when there's a new cat, lots of tension. She's like very nervous. She doesn't realize it's her own energy, her own like fear that's like creating the tension. But Siri becomes friends with other cats very easily. We used to live, I was in an intentional community, so it's like a group of people that have come together to live according to their shared values. And so other people came and they brought their cats, and there was like 11 cats on the land. So it was really interesting watching my cats integrate into this, like, basically a community of cats. And it was such a good experience for both us and them, because, you know, if you have cats and you just like live in your own little apartment, and, you know, I feel bad, like the cat's like not making any friends, like, you know, they have social lives too. So it was a really nice experience for them. And but you could tell that Siri was like, you know, much easier to get along with other cats. Lily, she needs some practice, but it's like everyone, humans, right? Some humans are really bad at making friends and some are really good. And so yeah, the more I raise a cat, the more I realize, like, wow, cats are very much like humans. Like, we have a lot of similarities in terms of like our social needs and our need for love. I can't. I don't know where my phone is, but yeah, I'll absolutely, sure. Okay. Where is my phone? I don't have a phone. It is gone. Oh, it's on weights. Aha. Found it. Hey baby, why don't you... You can be the star of the show. Stealth flexor? What's a stealth flexor? I got skinny arms. Thanks to my mom. She's super skinny, or she was. But yeah, I try to do, you know, I try to stay healthy, try to work out. Baby. You're just chilling. I really don't like my hair. It's just awful. I'm gonna cut it off. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I've never really like cared about my hair, really, in the sense that, you know, I wake up in the morning. I remember like elementary school, middle school, high school, college, just wake up, just like shove it back and go to school. I didn't really think about it until years later, when it kind of dawned on me that your hair is part of how you present yourself. And if you have like, you know, kind of a presentable figure, that'll change how people treat you. It's kind of a mind-blowing realization. I talked about it yesterday. So then I started, okay, like maybe I'll like make my hair a little bit nicer. But I always kept it short because, you know, I grew up in America and guys cut their hair short, right? Guys have short hair. That's the rule. I mean, that's what they said. And but then like 9 months ago, I was like, I'm gonna try something new. Like, I've never grown my hair long. I could have, I could be, what's that girl? Entangled, right? She has like really beautiful long golden hair. I could have the nicest hair in the world, and I would never know because I always cut it short. So I was like, I'm gonna try it out, see what it looks like. And so, yeah, it's interesting. But it is definitely a hassle, I'll give you that. If you have long hair, mad respect. Because it takes longer to dry, takes longer to comb, it gets everywhere. When you're trying to work out and do push-ups, it's in your face. So you have to just have to manage it. I'm not used to this like management of hair, but it's an interesting experience. But yeah, I don't really know how to like style it or wear it, or like I want like a professional. Like a professional who can be like, oh, cut it a little bit here, use this professional kind of shampoo, it's perfect for your hairstyle. Oh, I didn't even know you could do that. Interesting. I see. Yeah, I'm really bad with all that stuff. But yeah. Anyways, so this was originally supposed to be a heartshare session. I'm getting distracted. Distracting me from my duties. Oh, well, thank you. All right, fair is fair. Oops, blurry. Yeah. Killing me here. Baby. So yeah, anyways, originally this was supposed to be a connective experience. I think we are connecting. I have a new friend. I feel like, Micah, you're my friend. Julie, we're friends now, right? But the idea is that, so when I was in intentional community, long story short, I worked for the better part of the last decade at NASA Ames, and I was a researcher, and I thought I had succeeded at life. I thought that, I was making 6 figures, I had a respectable job, and this is what life was all about. But I found myself unsatisfied. I feel like I wanted more from life. And so I started looking into like, are there other ways of living? Like, do I have to just be in this like tiny apartment by myself? Like, I was spending most of my day at work doing something that like, might have some value, but maybe not exactly what I love. So I started looking into different ways of living. And I discovered this idea of intentional community. And this is like when a bunch of people just come together and like, look, we don't want to live in this like paradigm where we're kind of like all separated in little apartments and single family homes. We want to come together and live collectively and like share the burden of living. So I went to Hawaii and I discovered an intentional community. And oh, what's up, baby? And it was such a great experience. Like, so they had this like land, and they like built homes, and they had their gardens and got their own fresh fruit and vegetables. And baby. And it was just so connective. Everyone there was like really supportive, really helpful. I got sick a couple times, and like there were always people running up to like give me food. Well, that's the number one kind of thing you have to do, is find people with aligned interests and values. So I found it, there's a like kind of the de facto standard for finding communities. Is ig.org, or sorry, ic.org, intentional community, basically, ic.org. And you can look up and like find communities and kind of like get a sense of which they list their values and stuff. It's kind of a nightmare in a way, because I personally would do something more to make it easier to find and match people with communities. It's more like a dating app where like, you know, when you're on a dating app, you're swiping, like the app, they typically don't do anything to help you find a match. There's like a few requirements, like you can set an age range, like a distance range, but they don't generally help you find a match, because if they made it really easy for you to find a match, then you would quit the app and you'd be dating a person and you wouldn't be paying for the app. So they have an incentive to not make it fast. So they just do the bare minimum. And that's kind of how this thing is. It's like you can like search for communities like within certain states and certain regions and certain parameters, but at the end of the day, you have to go through this like giant list and then kind of like contact them. So it takes a little bit of work. But basically, yeah, at the end of the day, the best thing to do is just find some that seem right, give them a call, see if they're accepting new members, and then just go visit for like a week. And so we had a lot of people come visit that way. I just dove in. I just went to Hawaii and I'm like, I'm coming. And yeah, it was a great experience. Now, I'm not still in Hawaii now. I'm in New York. Because it wasn't quite the perfect match. There's some things that I kind of want. For example, like they're kind of a bit of an older community. Everybody's great, wonderful people, but you know, it felt more kind of like a retirement home, and they all had kids already. Their kids were like already old enough to they had kids, many of them, right? So these people were like 60s, you know, getting kind of older, maybe 50s. And so for me, I'm looking for a community that's going to be a bit more spread apart in age. So there's like a lot of young kids, there's like middle-aged people, there's old people. Like I want that diversity, and definitely a community that's really open to just having kids and people continuing on, you know, the community, because that's important. And then of course there's some like administrative stuff that I kind of prefer. Like I think there's many ways to make decisions, right? So when you have a bunch of people in a community and there's various activities that you do that might earn money for the community, and then you have this community pool of money, who decides how to spend that money, right? So usually it's like, okay, everybody decides, but how? Do you just like make a vote? Is it democratic? Or do you do consent-based decision making or consensus-based decision making, right? There's different ways to, here you go, baby. There's different ways to like set up the power structure, the governance structure. And their particular one was consensus. And I think there are flaws with that system. The idea is really nice. It's like everybody in the community gets to have a say. And if anybody says no, whatever's like being proposed doesn't happen. So if someone comes to the floor and says, I propose that we build a shower over here, it's much more convenient, it'll help us out, and they give all these reasons, everybody in the community has to say yes. They have to consent to that happening. If everybody says yes, then money is allocated and it's figured out and that project gets done. But if even one person says no, then it doesn't get done. And then usually you talk to that person, okay, like, well, you don't want it this way. What do you not like about it? Like, do you want it to be facing a different direction? Do you want to be in a different spot? Like, and you kind of work with them and figure it out. So that's a common way of doing it. It's consensus-based, but it's a bit slower. So, yeah. Well, yeah, so that's one of the big problems with consensus-based decision-making is that when the community gets to a certain size, like it's not too bad at like 5, 6, 7, 8 people, but once you start getting to like 15, 20 more people, it gets really hard to decide things because there's always going to be at least one person who's like, no, I don't want that. And then so you're like working with all these people. Imagine if you had 200 people in your community and getting buy-in from every single person would take so long. And so I was already experiencing that. We had about anywhere from 10 to 15 people. And yeah, sometimes it took a long time to decide things. And so I think consensus is nice in principle. What's up, Ashega? Welcome, welcome. We're talking about community. Oh no, are you a bot? No, you tricked me. But yeah, so there are other ways of doing it. He is a bot. See, I can't say hi to people. If I do and they're a bot, it hurts my soul. I guess it's okay. It's just a bot. They don't know. So yeah, there are other ways of doing it. Like it's really nice in principle. Everybody gets like an even vote. Everybody, it's all perfect, la la la. But it's not really. It gets impractical when your community gets to a certain size. So there are better decision-making systems. For example, sociocracy, which I think is like there's no perfect system, but it's really it fixes a lot of the flaws of consensus, and you can structure it in a way that it values people who have expertise for certain kinds of decisions. So like imagine if you have a decision like what kind of seeds should we grow in our garden? What kind of plants, right? You don't want any random person deciding that. Like there are specific plants that are going to grow in your particular climate based on how much rain you have, how much sun you have. Like you want the gardeners and the plant people to have the most influence on what gets decided. So it's not equal. It's more like the experts get to decide. And then for like big community-wide decisions, it's more about what's known as consent-based decision-making versus consensus. And the difference is like consent-based, you're more just like saying, if it sounds reasonably good to you and you're okay with it, then you have my consent. It's less about like, you need to understand this decision entirely. And how long? Probably the next 10 years. Just kidding. I don't know. You tell me. So yeah, there's just a lot of different ways of doing it. I'm actually working in my own intentional community right now. So if this is something that vibes with you, if you want to learn more, I mean, of course, stick around the chat. I talk about it all the time. But collective living is honestly the way to be. The way we do it now, where we're like all in our little separate apartments, it's so isolating. I felt so lonely living in California. And this is, mind you, we have like social media. We've never been more connected ever in human history. I can press a button and communicate with someone in Taiwan in 1 second. It's amazing, completely around the world. But at the same time, everybody's feeling so isolated. And why is that? It's because the base structure of how we decide to live our lives is flawed. We've moved away from the community, the village setting, and put ourselves in little rigid boxes separated from other rigid boxes. So intentional community is so powerful because it gives you a community and a family that like everybody has your back and everybody's pulling their resources together to support each other. So you can get so many nicer things and so many things. I mean, with just your income, what kind of house can you get, right? Like, you're lucky if you can get a house at all. But have 20, 30, 50 people come together and they all vibe with you, they're all chill, they all agree about the same things. You guys can get a mansion, you can get an estate, right? You can build a gym, you can build a bowling ring, right? So when you come together, living collectively is really the secret to like better economics, spending less money, working less, having way deeper connections, having better food, having healthier food, and just living a life in alignment with your values. So if you vibe with that, if you want to be part of an intentional community, if it's at all curious to you, definitely subscribe, stick around, because I'm setting up one myself. It's definitely going to happen. So yeah, I need a drink of water. Where is my water bottle? Hair is also hot. Like just having it makes me hotter. Hey, baby. I want to figure out how to block these spammers. Kick fam. Open up Streamlabs. Well, yeah, so that's like the number one thing that people fear. Because I can only speak for like growing up as an American, but we weren't taught anything in school about how to like relate to other people. It was just like, as soon as we went to school, elementary school, it was like, math, science, physics, English, right? Like very like academic skills. I didn't take a class on how to be a good friend, how to be a good father, how to relate to people and build strong connections, right? Like those are such important life skills. So we don't have that. I feel like most people that I know don't have the skills in relating with other people unless they just like happen to have like really good, influence from their parents and peers who like taught them really good skills. But I didn't. In fact, I took speech and debate, Lincoln Douglas debate in high school. So I realized that influenced how I talk with people. I became kind of like debatey. Like when we're talking about something, I would like be thinking about, oh, this is wrong, this is a flaw, and it like totally warped how I communicate. And being debatey doesn't create friends. So I had to like spend a long time like considering how I communicate to like undo that and like try to be more connective in my communication rather than disconnective. But yeah, you're absolutely right. And it's really hard, I think, coming from this like current paradigm, for lack of a better word, I'll call it the matrix, right? We're living in the matrix right now. It's kind of like an artificial way of living that's been constructed just over time throughout history. And so when you leave the matrix and you try these new ways of living in community with others, you definitely have to commit some time to learning certain skills. And so these are some things you look for in the screening process, right? You have a screening process for who can join the community. It can't just be anybody. Maybe in the future, like 100 years from now, we can invite everybody with open arms and love, and the community is strong enough to handle it. But in the beginning, you definitely need people who are willing to put in effort to learn the proper communication skills, like do the necessary like shadow work, because we all got traumas, we all have triggers. You need to like be able to accept that you probably have some yourself, and willing to like do the work necessary to heal and understand your triggers and traumas. Right? And you need to be familiar with conflict resolution strategies. Even the very idea of conflict needs to be reframed for a lot of people. Most people think about conflict and like, ooh, I want to avoid that. Like they try to avoid conflict. You might even say white lies. Like, your wife asks you, oh, how did I make dinner really well? Do you like it? And to avoid conflict, you might say, oh, it's really good, even though you actually think it's too salty or something. You just like say nice things to avoid conflict, right? We have these habits we've developed. But this is the wrong view of conflict. It's avoiding conflict because you think conflict is bad. But when you live in community, you actually realize that conflict is a powerfully connective experience. Because conflict is what happens when two people don't understand each other, or like why they did certain things. Like, this guy moved my toothbrush. God damn it, why'd he do it? He hates me. And then, you actually come together, you go through this conflict resolution process, and you realize, no, he just like moved it because he thought it was disrespectful to put it there. Like, you understand each other, why you did what you did. And you're like, oh, now I understand you better. Like, it's not that you hated me, you just thought something else. Like, I respect you now. And you come together, you hug. So it's a really powerful experience, and you learn to solve them very quickly. It's not like conflicts where you have a conflict with your sister and you don't talk to her for 6 months. It's like you figure it out the next day. And it's so great. It's so powerful. So conflict is actually a very powerful healing experience that is not something you run away from in community. But again, you need to find the right people who are willing to do the work to learn these skills and like accept their role as their role in conflict. And if you can find these people, then it's so much easier. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Everything is easier in a group. That's the other thing. That's the other advantage of community. I actually am writing a post about this. Well, I'm creating an intentional community white paper, so I was writing about it last night. You ever watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Or like one of those game shows? They often have this like lifeline called Ask the Audience. And the idea is that you can, have like whatever 100 people in the crowd all vote on like what they think the answer is. And 99% of the people, 99% of the time, the answer is correct. The audience knows the best answer. And this is actually something we know in psychology. It's called the wisdom of the crowds. And it's the idea that in general, a crowd of people is going to provide better judgment. Is going to have better judgment, better wisdom than any single person in the group. And so in community, you can learn so much and you can make better decisions in groups of people. So yeah, like in terms of, I'm just thinking in terms of like resolving conflict, about deciding like, how do I decide who comes in my community? Like if it's just down to one person, you're going to get a very biased set of people that come in that like only fits to their ideal. But if you have a team of like 10 people who are like experienced living in community and they're all deciding collectively who should join the community, then you're going to get a much better selection of people that are more likely to be appropriate for the early stages of a community. But like I said, I want to build a community so that eventually we can let anybody in. But it's really important in the beginning of the community to have like really, kind of like stronger, like emotionally intelligent people who have certain skills under their belt, because that's definitely more of a fragile, delicate time when your community is just being built. But after you reach like 100 people and you have a lot of like people who are experienced, have been there for a while, and they can handle a little bit of some people that are a bit more difficult, I would like to be able to open up the community to every single person. But again, that's probably many years down the road. In the beginning, definitely have really good screening processes and make sure you're selecting people with not only the same values, but well, I guess it's basically down to the same values, but values including like values in terms of how they want to commit to personal growth and doing the work necessary to make the whole project work. But yeah, I am a little bit sad when I think about the fact that I have some friends who, while I like cherish and love them, I'm not sure they would be the best fit for a community. Maybe I can see them being kind of hard to work with. But you know, that's life. And we do what we can in the beginning, and maybe in time, when there's enough examples, what I really want to do is just like start a community and start a YouTube channel, or like maybe just continue this live stream and show people this awesome way of living that is like with much less stress, much greater connection, much greater joy and happiness, as like everything is going to be better than the current paradigm that people live in. And just show people that it's possible and be like, look, this is exactly how we did it. Here are the blueprints. You can just build a community, set up these rules, set up these structures, agree on some values, buy some land, do blah, blah, blah. And because this is the way, in my opinion, that we're going to make big changes in the world. The world is so entrenched with like the big banking system, the military industrial complex, like big governments. Like you're not going to be able to fight that. There's no going from the top down. You make change by showing people an alternative that is really effective, really transformative, and having them say, wow, like if he can do it, I can do it. Cloud bot. Whoa. You hungry? Well, you have to wait a half an hour, okay? Hey, welcome. What are my thoughts about people who have very big personalities? Yeah, I mean, again, you have to take it on a case-by-case basis. But there are definitely types of people out there that you mentioned that I can think of that, like in their having a big personality, they dominate others in conversation, right? And this can be very harmful. I've been in community and we had a couple people come through who were very very type A, and yeah, they just like tended to very much dominate conversations. They, whenever we try to talk, they would like always talk over other people. Now that's fine to start with. If it doesn't really matter where you start, as long as you have the quality of being able to accept feedback and grow. If you're willing to make changes and grow and recognize that you're a flawed human being like everyone else, and you may have some qualities that make it difficult to work with you. If you're willing to accept feedback and do the work necessary to grow, then I guess it wouldn't matter where you start. But in general, yeah, I mean, that person probably wouldn't make the screening process. And you just find out, like the screening process at the community I was in was, first you visit for a day. You just have dinner with everybody. If they think you're cool enough from that, then you come on for 1 month. And if you drive people nuts, or like it doesn't work even within a couple of like days, they can ask you to leave and you have like a couple days to leave. But basically you have like a month with them. And then they all vote and talk amongst themselves, and if they think you're cool and want you to stay, then you renew for another month. And you do that for like 6 months or so. 6 months, I think even up to a year, on a month-to-month basis. And at some point, if they really like you and you're like considering joining the community, then you ask to go, oh, cool. Yeah, man, be safe. Don't fall down while you're watching the stream. Maybe focus mostly on the skating. So yeah, and then you just go through like a trial process where you have like another 6 months where you're just kind of like slowly more integrating into the community during a trial membership. And they basically, during this period of like trial membership, they treat you, and you should act as if you are already a member. Because the idea is to see like, okay, if we do make this person a member, like how will they be? What kind of person will they be? So the idea is to like imagine you're a member. So you start going to the business meetings, you start like taking part in decisions and having like almost full rights about in terms of like voting and stuff. Well, not voting, but consensus in this particular community. And yeah, and you just like kind of take it day by day, week by week, year by year, well, month by month. And then usually that lasts about a year or so. And then if everybody still likes you, then they have a vote, and well, they have a decision to make, and everybody has to agree. And if everyone agrees that you're in, then you become a member. So it's kind of a long process. So in terms of like personalities, if people are worried like, oh, what if we get a bunch of people that are crazy and it's hard to work with them? Like you would know long before they got to the final decision that they're hard to work with, because they've been part of the community. And if they get into their trial membership, then they're part of the business meetings. You know what it's like to work with them on projects. So nothing comes at you like out of nowhere. It's all well known in advance. I think the hardest thing then is simply just sometimes when people have been on the land for a while. Yeah, it doesn't take that long, but I would say in small amounts, what you say is actually very, very true. We had people that came through and, they seemed really nice. We thought they were really cool, and they stayed for several months and they're like, oh, I want to be a member. I want to join the trial membership process. So we put them in that, and then we started to have meetings with them. And it was a little different. Like people change over time, and we found that they were maybe a little bit more disagreeable than we thought. And so sometimes it does come down to like, look, we like you. We think you're like generally a cool person. But at the end of the day, it's been about a year now. We can't really agree. Not everyone wants you here. We have to let you go. And so even if it's only been a year, that can be hard. I mean, spending time with someone for a year, I mean, it's hard for a lot of people to imagine, because when you think about like visiting your friends, like how often do you hang out with your friends? Like you're lucky if you do every day, but I hang out with my friends like maybe once a month or something. Like we're all so busy, we're all working, I don't really have time. But if you live in a community with somebody, you're with them every single day, basically. Like at minimum, you're with them for dinners, but usually there's much more. You're doing projects together, activities together. So a year with somebody is like 10 years in the Matrix. So it does feel like a long time, and it can be really hard for some people to let go. They're like, I thought I was going to be a member, but you can't agree, so now I have to leave. And so that can be a tricky time for sure. And I think there's like a delicate, nice, like good way to do that, and I think there are bad ways to do that. And that's kind of stuff you want to specify in like your procedures document that describes the whole process from going from like just a visitor to a full member. And like the whole thing is specified out and how it works. So yeah, that's the thing that I'm kind of like drafting up now. And yeah, it's just basically these documents. It lists my values, like what things are important to me, my vision. Like values are one thing, but vision really helps you get an understanding of how you apply your values, right? Like I have a value to live sustainably, right? But what does that mean? Like, okay, do you want to have a compost for vegetables and fruits? Do you want to compost your poop, right? You can actually compost poop and dry it out and then put it in the orchard, right? Because those are nutrients. But some people are like, ew, I don't want people's poop on my orange tree. So right, like there's different how much do you care about sustainability? You can't just say I care about sustainability. So when you write out your vision, you write out like, okay, this is kind of the things that I imagine. I imagine that we have this, 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 and this. These are how I want to apply my values, my principles. So I'm writing that out now, values, vision, and just a rough like overview of like procedures and policies. You probably have certain behavioral agreements, like of course everyone agrees to be respectful, and like, you know, if there's a conflict, try to like resolve it as soon as possible. You know, of course you can take your space if you're fuming, if you're angry, but you know, a speedy resolution is ideal. Because yeah, like living in community is different, and it, you know, there are different things to consider for sure, no doubt. But if you ask me, the rewards are worth it. Absolutely worth it. In fact, I would say there's almost no downside. It's just like a different way of being. Like for example, when you live in a community, when you live with all these people who are like basically family members, other people's sorrows and other people's joys like affect you. You know, when it's like, imagine you have a kid, right? And your kid graduates college, you know, they graduate Harvard University. You'd be so proud, right? Like you feel that joy. So in community, you're like that with everybody, right? It's not just like you and your kid. It's like this guy, this guy, this girl, like everybody is your family. And so when they have joys, you feel it. It's like, wow, like you just got your Pilates certification. You've been working that for years. Like congratulations, because they're family. And at the same time, you'll feel their sadness. You know, if they're suffering, if they get sick, you know, if they break their arm or whatever, or they lose their job, like you feel that too. So there's like, it's kind of like a different way of living. Like you feel people's joys and their pains, you empathize with them. But it's very powerful, and I think that's overall huge, like a much better way of living. Because you just feel so connected and you feel so supported. And that's like one huge thing that we're missing in this world today. Yeah, I mean, that is everything. Because I'll be straight up honest with you. Most intentional communities fail. I mean, I guess it's like kind of like most things actually. Like most restaurants fail, isn't it? I read some statistic that like 75% of new restaurants eventually fail within like the first year. Communities are hard, and I think it takes a special skill set. And, you know, you have to be able to find the right people to make it really happen, to make it stand the test of time. And I think most communities that start just aren't started they don't have the proper team. And so that's like, this is what I'm all about. I'm like using all my planning and strategic knowledge to do as much research as possible and make sure that every box is checked to make sure this works. But I think a lot of, you know, you can read books about it. Like there are books, Building Belonging, How to Living a Life Together by Diana Leaf Christian. Like there are some books that are like de facto Bibles for how to make a successful community. And they spell out in clear detail like the things you need to work for. But I think often what happens is like people get they get kind of excited about the idea of like living with friends and family and like forming a community together. But they just don't have the right kind of like strategic like planning mindset to really like execute it with you know, with precision and like efficiency. So it can't just be like a wishy-washy, oh, let's do this, like let's kind of jump into it. It needs to be planned, and that's where I come in. And so I'm a lot more confident that we're going to avoid a lot of these issues because I've read all these books, I've done my research, I actually lived in community for 2 years. So I have on the ground experience of what works and what doesn't. So I think the next part for me, the biggest part that I need to work on next is finding the right people, finding those people, can't, like you said, there are some personalities that aren't going to work. So this is part of what I'm doing for this live stream, is like just exposing people to this idea, finding people who vibe with me. I'm going to start sharing my document. In fact, you can look at it right now. It's njb.fyi/intentional. Did I spell that right? Intentional, yeah. So I'm working on this document. I just need to find, I want to network with other people who are on board with this, who have the same values. And then I have to set up like some sort of screening process to make sure I get people who are like committed to the project and like have all those qualities that I mentioned earlier. So I'm taking a very meticulous, careful, like planned approach. And you can see that in my document. It's actually the second time I've written this document. This time, I tried to kind of like separate it in a way that makes it more approachable, because the first document was like 100 pages, and you give someone a document with 100 pages, they're gonna be hard pass. So it actually starts off much lighter. The beginning section, like the overview, is much shorter. Still working on it, so it's very much a rough draft, but so it'll be like progressive information disclosure. So ideally the beginning will just be like a couple pages to give, like, wet people's feet about the idea, and then I'll get into increasing complexity, because you do need to get into the details at some point. And if you really want to live in community, if you're really invested and this sounds like a really good idea, at some point you need to read, like, you need to understand how it all works, because it's important, right? Like how a community makes decisions is like one of the most critical things. Like, how are you going to have power in the community? That's like there's a system you need to learn about, and things like that. So for sure. But the general process, I would say, is just have a plan, find the right people, and that includes, if you are not a planner and sort of like, INTJ, like strategic person, make sure you find a person on your co-founder team who has those skills to sort of like help keep everything together, because it's not enough just to have a bunch of bubbly, happy, hippie types who have the energy, right? Like, those people are really good for like networking and like connecting with others and bringing other people on board, but you need to have the right balance of skill sets. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. I'm not really like the bubbly person. Am I bubbly? But so I need to maybe recruit some of those folks and kind of get people who are good at marketing and reaching out. And at some point we might even run like Google ads or something, or like start reaching our fingers out and sort of trying to get people from all around who are interested. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. Those are such nice words. Yeah. I just want to share what I've learned, and it's such an awesome thing. Like, most people don't really know about it. They haven't even heard of the idea of intentional community. So it's just something I want to share with the world and be like, look, like, this is another way you can do it, and we can be happy. And I see this world we live in. It's so, we're all like at each other's throats, like Democrats, Republicans, they want to kill each other. We're at a civil war. Like, no, let's just come together and connect. Social media, unfortunately, is like probably the single greatest source of societal disconnection that we have, which is ironic because it started as the exact opposite. It was like, I remember when Facebook was first invented. It was like, we're going to connect in ways we've never connected before. No, that didn't happen. Are we connected, baby? Yes, we are. Super connection. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll keep everything. I'm gonna be updating everything on my blog. So really, I want to kind of like funnel people there at some point, because yeah, like live stream is a great platform to meet people, but it's not. I'm not sure it's like the best platform to like coordinate, right? Like, so I need to figure out. Like, I've been using Discord, and I'm trying to funnel people to Discord who are interested, and but yeah, I think my blog will be the central place where I start posting updates when I'm like, I'm going to be making an application form at some point, so people can be like, oh, I'm interested, or like I want to help out, or I'm interested, but I just kind of want to watch from the sidelines, but I want to get the updates, but I'm just going to mostly be on the sidelines until you're further along. And then there's some people who are like, I want to be on board right away. And yeah, so everybody to each their own. I get it. Some people have family, they have kids, they're kind of like stuck at their job, and that makes sense. But in the long term, once we're nice and stable, the goal is that basically like no one should feel restricted in terms of being able to join. Like the main thing is often like people are like, okay, I have kids, they have school. That makes sense. You don't want to like yank your kids out of their school and like lose all their friends, maybe wait till they get out of high school or something. And often for people it's job. Like I can't just leave my job, I have to work here. But when intentional community is up and running, it should be able to provide for the well-being of everyone as a baseline. So you'll get free food, you'll get internet, you'll get your own room, you'll get access to the gym, you'll get internet connection, we'll have many TV rooms, we'll have computer rooms, right? Like everything that you will need, more or less. The goal is even to have a doctor, right? We want a doctor on site, we want a dentist on site, we want a car mechanic on site. As many people as we can get to have our own like community that can take care of each other, then you don't need a job, right? Like what do you need a job for? You need cooking, cleaning, like you don't have to do that in community, at least not to the same extent. So money shouldn't be an object in the long run. Once the community is up and running, we have some community businesses, we're making money, people will just be cared for. And then your time is free to spend it as you choose. I think someone calculated like economically that if you have like a well-designed, well-structured society, you could get away with basically people working like 1 to 2 hours a week. Think about that. We work our butts off. We work like 40 plus hours a week. But in reality, we could get down to 1 to 2 hours a week and we'd be fine. And we could have the same or better standard of living. That's mind-blowing. And it's absolutely true. And in fact, I think you can get it even lower with automation and AI coming in the future. It's going to be able to do everything. But yeah, one step at a time. For now, stick around, subscribe. Yes, I am secretly, you exposed me. I'm from the year 2040. Oh yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, I appreciate your follow. Thank you so much. And I'm happy to, I'll be glad to see you around. We'll see what happens this week. I'll be at my parents' house. Maybe I'll do some live streams. We'll see. But yeah, thanks again, and catch you later. And welcome, Kaiba Bunk. What's up? We're just chilling. I need to get back to what I was doing. What was I doing? I was planning my trip. Yeah, my dad got injured and I need to plan a trip. Don't need that alarm. I need to plan a trip to visit. Backpack. Hey baby, you're hungry. 10 minutes. Almost time. It's almost time. All the kitty boos here. Hey, Pee-Pee. You're hungry. No. 10 minutes. Almost time. I feed my cats on a schedule because... And there's like a specific alarm that goes off. Because I don't want them to necessarily always just associate me with food. Because then they're just begging me, and always in my face trying to get food. Yes, I will care for you and I would love you, but we have a schedule for you so you don't overeat. So you're not hungry. Okay. Wow. You're acting like you're starving. You look like you actually still have some food in your bowl. Here you go. What, they're not good enough? They have to be full, solid chunks? You're the one who broke them apart. Alright, what do I need? I need some clothing. I'm just gonna sort of grab a few things that I need for my trip. I need to figure out some pants, sweatshirt. It's always cold at my parents' house. Belt. Yeah, sorry for anyone who came on for the connective heartshare experience. We were just sort of hanging out. I'm still sort of playing around with how I manage scheduled activities, but yeah, we're just kind of having a hangout. If you have any questions or comments, if you want to share what's alive for you, what's going on for you emotionally, yeah, I'm happy to chat, happy to talk. Bring this. I thought I had my laptop somewhere. Where is it? Under the bed. Probably my workout gloves. I'll probably do some exercises, maybe. Flashlight. Do I need a Nintendo Switch? No. No gaming. Path of Champions. Three minutes, baby. Almost there. Oh yeah, bring my e-reader. Don't forget that. I'll write that down. I'm just about to finish Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Oh, I'll probably bring this too, actually. That's handy. It is quite a lot, actually. Good book, but slow read. Welcome, welcome, all new viewers. I've just opened up the chat to whatever. If you guys have questions, comments, you want to share what's alive for you, I'm here, I'm listening. Originally, like I said, this was going to be a connective activity known as heartshare. But I heard some news that my father got hurt. He's in the hospital. So I'm just kind of doing some packing, and I have to reschedule some things. I'll be on for a little bit more, and then I got to attend to that with my full attention. But yeah. Oh, by the way, he's stable. He's in good, well, I don't know about good condition, but he's in stable condition. So, yeah, they're going to release him tomorrow. But I wanted to go up and help around the house and do anything I can to, you know, make his life easier. Oh, you hear that sound? You know what that sound is. Here you go, baby. Your patience has been rewarded. Good job. I love you. All right, where was I? Security code needed. When will you send me the email? How do you add bannable words to your Streamlabs moderator? Who knows the answer to this question? Adding a word to your blacklist. Add word, good. What is a purge? What's the difference between a purge and a ban? I don't know. Purge. They don't even tell you. Okay, let's see if AI knows. What's the difference between a purge and a ban on Twitch? What's up, Coolbrex? W stream, you're saying my stream is weird? Well, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it's a bot. Kick is filled with bots. Sometimes you'll stumble on a screamer that isn't well. You see a bunch of people in chat spamming purge at the screamer. This is to inform the streamer that you have seen their past broadcast and you want not to be advertised in that way too. What? I don't know. Hey Bear, how's it going? Nice to see you too. I am trying to figure out how to make it so these spammers who keep wanting me to go to this kickfam thing are automatically blocked. I think it's in word protection. I added kickfam, but do I have to add all the caps versions? It's whatever. I'm at peace with it. I just noticed that it happens pretty much every day, multiple times a day. So I feel like that's an easy one for me to like add to the list. Maybe, yeah. Anyways, we just had a good conversation earlier about intentional community. Oh, you know what? I should have used that new feature I discovered. I guess it was a bit kind of a long conversation. But it was really good. And we had a new guy, Micah, ask a bunch of questions, and I was talking about it. I see. Yeah, I'm new to Twitch too. I don't really know anything about it. And I'm Streamlabs, and I'm like connecting to Twitch, so I only just today started opening up the Twitch tab to see if there's more functionality, and there actually is. I can do a lot more. So I'm still going to wrap my head around all that. And I know people got like all sorts of overlays and streams and fanciness. I don't know if I need all that, but maybe some things. For example, at the top of the screen, you can see like 4 boxes of, you know, if you're like top donator or something, but I don't know. There's like also like alerts or stuff, but I guess maybe I put that up prematurely and it's not until down the road. But there's also things you can do like show who followed and stuff. I don't know, maybe that's nice. And stickers, I don't really understand stickers. They're like special stickers that I can create, like just for my channel. I don't know, I hope that one of my future followers happens to just be a Twitch expert and can help out. Because, yeah, this is all new to me. But yeah, what's going on for you? Interesting dreams. I'm not sure if I can remember any specific dreams. You know, they usually fade pretty quickly. Sometimes I have a really interesting dream and I get up and I like write it down, and I have some dreams I've written down. And I also have some dreams that I've been continuing basically my entire life. As in, like, I'll dream about it one night, and then the next night right before I go to bed, I like make sure I'm thinking about that dream, and I continue into it, and I extend it. And it's like a movie that I keep extending for years, and I've had some since like middle school that I like keep extending from time to time where I last left off. I mean, it's not like a perfect movie or anything, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. I have one about Lord of the Flies, where like my entire high school class was on like a trip to across the seas, and the plane goes down in the middle like of the Pacific, and we're all on an island together, and like we're trying to like survive, and there's all these groups, and you have like the jocks got one group, and like the nerds are over here, and it's funny. The nerds are like trading technology that they made out of like sticks and like little gears. Yeah, I think I lucid dreamed like once or twice in my life. It's like hard for me. I don't know how to get into that state reliably, but there's definitely been a couple times where I was like kind of just about to like wake up, or like kind of between sleep cycles or something, and I like conscientiously knew that I could like get up if I wanted to and just like get up, but I was able to also, I was like still in my dream like state enough where I could be God and like shape my world. I was part of like, I don't know, I'm kind of like different groups over time. Originally, I just have this like core group of friends in high school, and we were just like not really part of any group. We weren't like the sports kids. We weren't like the nerd kids. We just had like our own little clique. Oh, here you go, baby. But in my dream, I often take the role of like the person who tries to bring people together, because you know, I guess I'm like, I see so much conflict in the world, and I have this like deep desire to like be like, yo, like we don't need to be fighting each other. Let's just work together. So I often take this role of like a negotiator, you know, someone who helps try to bring people together. I can definitely see patterns. You know, dream interpretation I think is actually quite useful, but it's only really something that you can do yourself. Itch for one day or get tickled for an hour? I mean, how bad is the itch and how bad is the tickle? right? Big, I mean, if we're talking mosquito bite, or are we talking like, you know, the worst itch you've ever felt in your entire life? And same thing with tickle, the light little feather versus like, you know, light fingers all over your body. But yeah, but dream interpretation, I think, is very valid. It's just something I think is kind of personal in that I think it's hard for most people to interpret other people's dreams. Give me the juicy details. Unless they know you really well. Like if it's your mom or something, or your brother, and you're like really close and they know everything about you, sure, they can interpret your dreams. But for the most part, I don't think we can just go to like some psychic or whatever and they can tell you anything relevant, because only you know like the full depth of your own experiences, or at least as you know the most about it. So I've done that a lot. I've like looked at my dreams and I've been able to identify like, oh, I probably dreamed this because of this. So I think that's very actually a very valid, helpful tool, but I'm not sure science gives it much weight currently. Well, again, the intensity of the itch matters. I had really bad itch the other day. Oh my God, do I still have it? You guys can look. I got a mosquito bite. Are they still there? It's like red or something in the mirror. I guess it's kind of gone. It's still kind of here slightly. But yeah, it was like the worst mosquito bite I've ever had in my entire life. And I've had a lot of mosquito bites. But this one, you know, normally if you get a mosquito bite, I find it just goes away in half an hour. You know, then you don't have to think about it. But this one stayed for like 4 days. So if I had that mosquito bite, I would not want to be, I'll take the tickling any day. Yeah. Although normally I don't like tickling either. That causes like spasms in my body. I'm like, oh no. Yeah. Have you had any dreams recently, Bear, that you remember? And do you know why? Have you thought about why you had those dreams? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like being tickled. Tickle with consent, folks. Well, I think it also just, I think maybe the island was more just, we had actually literally just read The Lord of the Flies. So that was like a direct connection to, and I think like maybe, you know, there's a lot of movies that touch upon that. There was that one with Tom Hanks, right, where he goes down, he has a soccer ball friend, and he's on an island. You know, there's actually the show Lost. So I think, I don't remember, but there's definitely influences from my life, I think, that just like pointed me towards that. I feel like my dreams are often about saving people. I have this like, I don't know, maybe I watched too many Disney movies or something where like, you know, it ends happily ever after, the hero saves the day. But I feel like I always want to help people. And so my dreams are often about like me, I don't know, like getting powers, like I can teleport and I can shoot beams and I can like, you know, stop the bad people, or like the monster is coming to hurt my family and I can protect them. And when I have nightmares, it's usually I want to save my family, but I can't, right? The monster is too big. He overpowers me. I can't save my family, and that frightens me. I often get dreams, or I haven't had a nightmare in a while, thankfully, but oh, nice. Interpret my dreams. Yeah. I used to have dreams a lot when I was a kid where I would be like running away from something as fast as I could, but I was like moving through like molasses or something. I could not go fast. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get me. It's gonna get me. But I haven't had nightmares in a while, thankfully. Knock on wood. Oh my God, there's like literally no wood around here. Okay. Yeah, I'm lucky that my older brother wasn't the torturing type. He was very nice, very supportive brother. Yeah. Oh, well, I had a foster brother actually who was a nightmare in that regard. When I was in foster home, he would like pick me up with one arm and then put me by his butt with my face right in his butt, and then he would fart. And I'd be like, "Whoa, get me, get away, get away." It was so gross. He just tortured me. I wanted to be a therapist. I actually studied psychology. I have a degree in psychology in my undergrad. But ultimately, I went down a path towards human factors psychology rather than therapy. Everyone in the dream is you. That's deep. I mean, yeah, on some deep level, even if it's somebody you know, like your brother or your mother, it's like your projection and interpretation of their behavior. So I can see that. Okay, I was looking at your dream, and so you're talking about in your dream, your parents, your it was the opposite basically. You thought your mother would perish, your dad would live, but later found out your dad died and your mother lived. But you're still talking about your dream, not later found out in real life. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, what do you think that means? Like a fear of the unexpected, like surprise or something. I don't know. I think a lot of dreams also have to do with more immediate things, like reflections of something that basically happened that day. Um, I think, yeah, like what has happened to you in the same day has probably a bigger impact than what happened to you in the past. Of course, there are deeper traumas that will kind of always be there and maybe influence one's dreams. But yeah, I find when I do have dreams, there's usually like something that happened that day that is like the big influencer. Oh, this guy. Let's see if. So I added this thing. I wonder if he gets blocked because I added a blacklist for the word he's about to post. What? It didn't work. What? I'm mind blown. I added anytime someone writes the word kick fam, they get purged. I don't know what purged means, but it didn't work. What? I don't get it. Why did that not work? Oh, do I have to do it separately? No, I don't. The purged list is the same. What? Oh. Wait, what? Oh, Kick doesn't have that. Anyways, water tends to symbolize the depth of the unknown, uncertainty, and unconscious parts of ourselves. Yeah, I guess, like you said, it like depends on what water is for you, how you view water. Because, for example, if you were Aquaman and you live in water, you were born in water, you didn't know the land until you were already a man. Maybe water wouldn't be the unknown, the uncertainty. It would be like the known. So for me, I think water, yeah, it's kind of a mix of like uncertainty and known. Like, I don't know. But I really love water. One of my favorite activities is scuba diving. And so I'm like in the water as much as I could possibly be. It's like a magnificent, beautiful, amazing world. But it is absolutely still unknown, and there's uncertainty, and yeah, like definitely some fear in the back of my mind, because it's, you know, possibly a dangerous sport if you're not careful. Yeah, interesting. So I need to look up how do you block words on Kick? Creator dashboard, community tab. Oh, interesting. I have to scriber badges. Oh, dang. I'm mad at my bot for blocking you. Fuck. I hope you like have a copy of that message and didn't just like waste all that time and energy writing that. Can I add you as like yeah, that's such a bummer. What the heck, Streamlabs? So far the Streamlabs Autobot has been worse. It has made my channel worse. It's blocked stuff from people I want to type and not blocked spam from people I don't want to. But I'm going to see if I can add you. Bear D83. Like, can I add you as a special VIP user who has unlimited privileges? Okay, yeah, there are like roles, and I'll figure out how to do that again. But yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I almost want to just turn off this bot thing, because this auto bot, auto moderator, because it's doing such a bad job. It should not be blocking you. I mean, all I can do right now is make you a moderator. So, I mean, you know, I kind of just met you. I don't know if we have like developed the deepest level of trust, but I'm trusting you not to just ban people left and right from my channel. And now I think you won't be blocked by anything. I don't think moderators, I'm assuming, have the same like risk. Yeah, you know, I would type it in like Notepad on the side and then try it again and like copy it from there so you don't have to you don't lose it. But yeah, that's a bummer. Sorry about that. I made you a moderator, so hopefully that does something. Cool, cool. Okay, I've added KickFam to Kick's banned words. So let's see if we get another one of those people. I've already had like 3 people today spam me with that. 1, 2, 3. So if it happens again, I don't know what to say. Interesting. Yeah, what kind of psychotherapy do you do? I'm curious. Nice. Mm. Yeah, I really like especially CBT. Um, do you watch the show Shrinking? You might find that amusing as a psychotherapist. It's about these therapists and their, for lack of a better word, their adventures with their patients. And it's a comedy, so that's great. You know, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to wind down at the end of the day to some depressing, dark TV show. And it's lighthearted, and it's yeah, it ticks all the right boxes for me. Shrinking, I think it's like Apple Plus or something, which I think makes it not available to everyone unless you know the ways of the pirates. I want to remember to bring my e-reader. Is it already in my backpack? It is not. I smell smoke. Please just be barbecuing. I think somebody's just barbecuing. I'm gonna just quickly look upstairs. Oh, cutie. Are you a box lover? We have a box lover. Yeah, I think it's a barbecue. My journey, yeah, I mean, it's kind of similar in that, you know, I grew up, you know, both my parents went to Harvard University. My mom's parents both taught at Harvard, right? So it's like super like education, get a good degree, get a good job. And so I like went that route my whole life. Started working, got a job at NASA, science. But I have come to realize over time that science doesn't address everything. It's not like it knows everything. What's up, Plastimal? Please be a real person. Oh, it's not. Ah, killing me. But let's see if he gets banned. I added KickFam. He cannot post this link. He cannot do it. What? How did he do that? I don't know. I have no idea how to block these people. I added KickFam to the blacklist. No one's supposed to be able to type those 7 letters. But anyways, yeah, so I started questioning whether this way we do things in life is the best way, is the healthiest way, right? Like we all kind of are told this story that this is how life is. You gotta be working 40 hours a week. You gotta work until you're 65 years old and you have enough money and savings, and then you can be free. Then you can, have time to do what you want. I'm like, what? Like, the prime of my life is like 20s, 30s, 40s. You're telling me I have to basically be a slave to my job until I'm an old person before I can finally have the freedom to do something with my life? It just seemed all backwards to me. And so I did research, I looked into different things, I found intentional community, other ways of living, and I went and I traveled. I dropped everything, I left my job, I put everything in storage, and I flew to Hawaii and lived in this intentional community. And it was a powerful and transformative experience. I learned so much, like practical skills, right? I knew science, I knew, I can program, I'm an engineer, but I didn't know how to build a deck, right? Like it's actually really easy to do. I didn't know how to frame a house. I didn't really have practical skills. I couldn't really fix the washing machine if it broke, or fix the electrical system. So I learned all that stuff, and now I feel like I actually have useful skills. But I also realized that the whole idea that you have to work 40 hours a week is a lie. It's a carryover from just it's history, a carryover from history in our obsession with capitalism and individualism. You can actually create a community where people only have to work 1 to 2 hours a week to do the stuff to maintain the system. Someone's got to clean the gutters, someone's got to plant some food, to make sure the crops grow and water the plants. But when you have it run efficiently and you have enough people, 50 people, 60 people, and you divide the work evenly to get everything in order and keep it running, you only have to work a couple hours a week. And so this whole system we've been told is a lie. We don't need to slave away our lives and spend huge amounts of money paying rent, paying a mortgage, just to barely get by. We don't need to just have 2 weeks a year of vacation, right? You can live your life free. You can have most of your time free. And so that really just started this this slow avalanche snowball effect where I started looking into different things, and now I'm taking everything I learned over the past several years and trying to share it with people on live stream. I mean, it's basically my mission. Can I help people by sharing the knowledge that I have, and can I connect with people who vibe with me, who share the same values, and let's build a community together. And part of it is like what you said as well. It's all based on scarcity and anxiety. It's really quite toxic. When you really look into it and you really open your eyes, right? Like most of us are so inured by the story, the capitalist story, that we actually would defend it. Like people are like, no, capitalism is the best, socialism is evil. They don't realize the years of propaganda that have gone into making them think that way. But really, capitalism and individualism is about fear. It's about anxiety. It's about scarcity. It's about setting up the world that you are not taken care of. When you are born into this world, you're not taken care of. The system will not take care of you. You have to do all this work yourself. And we have this idealized thing, the strong work ethic. Everybody works hard, looks after themselves. That's the way it should be. But no, that's not, in my opinion, how it should be. I think everybody should look after each other, right? We should see each other as fellow citizens of the earth, right? We're all family. We're all in this together. We can help each other. We can support each other. You don't have to work 40 hours a week just to, put food on the table and have a roof over your head. We can help you with that. And when you have this mindset, this collective mindset, as opposed to the very individual mindset, life becomes so much easier. The burdens of life are lessened. And this is the great power of intentional community. It's not just about, there's benefits of connecting with other people, but you're really creating a family. You're creating a bunch of people who are willing to work together to share the burdens of life. And that's so powerful. So thank you for telling me that. Yeah, these Streamlab mics are interesting. Neither good nor bad, but one annoying thing is that they'll just go out and they don't tell you. There's no like little beep, 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 getting low on battery. So I'll just be rambling on and then I won't know. So thank you for telling me. But so I don't know what you heard, but I think you got the gist of what I was trying to say, which was that living collectively is awesome. And science doesn't know everything. And the world is vast and mysterious. And it's important to question what you think you know and be open to alternative possibilities. That's the summary. It's interesting. I had a conversation with somebody when I was in Hawaii. Attention and intention. Oh yeah. That's why I'm so into meditation. If you look at my stream schedule, I meditate every single day. In fact, we missed the meditation session today, but it's a little weird day. You know, I gotta figure out some stuff and head up to my parents. But yeah, I meditate for an hour every single day. It's such a powerful tool to train your attention. And in training your attention, you can live with more intention. Honestly, most people are just living their lives on autopilot and they don't realize it. And they don't realize that within themselves is a superpower waiting to be unlocked. And you unlock it through meditation. But again, that's just part of the message I want to share with viewers, and you know, hope to. What I want to do is actually get to a point where I can start leading meditations, because right now it's a very like I just go and like kind of shut down the chat and just, I'm going to meditate. But I think it would be more connective and helpful for people if I could actually lead them. So maybe I'll start a bit sooner than I thought. But yeah, that's huge. Being outside in nature, breath work, staying limber, and meditation, like you said, it's about noticing, it's about awareness. And I think that's the big thing too. A lot of people, when they think about meditation, they're like, yeah, I want to do it, but like, do I really want to sit around all day? Like it's so unproductive. The reality is you only start sitting down with your eyes closed when you start meditating. But in time, the goal is really to integrate it into your day-to-day life. So you don't actually need to do a separate session of meditating. Just you're meditating while you're doing the dishes. You're meditating while you're folding laundry, right? It's not intended to be a separate thing. It's supposed to be integrated into one's life. You just do it separately at first because it's really hard to calm down that really active brain we all have. But yeah. Living mindfully. I almost named this channel the Unmindful Gamer, but I decided not to. It was so hard to come up with a name. Like how do you decide what to call your channel? It's like the most thing that tore me for the longest. because it's sort of like the first thing people see, and whether they decide to click on you, I don't know, like your name's right there. And before I had a channel, I had a brand kind of identity that I came up with called Infinite Love. And I think actually it was a poor choice, because even though it embodies like my vibe, my energy, which is that like I have an infinite amount of love that I want to for everybody. Like I love animals, I love humans, you know, I love Americans, I love Chinese people, Russian people. I just have unconditional love for everyone. But I don't know, I think the name was like a bit cheesy, and like maybe people didn't quite resonate with it. But yeah, so I decided to go a different angle. Living well together. I'm not sure if that'll stick. Maybe it needs to be cool. What's a cool thing? Living cool. I don't know. Hey, baby. You cozy? Look at this sweetheart. Oops. I love animals. She loves her boxes. Yeah, I mean, that is actually something I very much thought about as well. That kind of like, I've called out so many times the dark side of social media. And yeah, I think social media, like Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and all that, is really at the root of a lot of our disconnection from each other. And it's, you know, a big source of misinformation and conflict. But it also is a source of, you know, there's actually really good quality content, right? Like there are channels on YouTube that offer really valuable things. But the problem is these algorithms, they promote, you know, typically the most, you know, clickbaity content, the emotional content, the you know, the viral stuff is not necessarily stuff that's like wholesome and good for people. It's stuff that is, you know, the most eye-catching. And so I think that is kind of like part of the toxicity of social media. So I agree. I think people need to get off tech for the most part. But how do you tell people without tech? So it's kind of a catch-22. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll subscribe. I actually have AMA in this channel's tags. But interestingly, the most questions people ask me are not really about wellness. I'll leave it at that, but yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do that. But dude, I'm happy to collab for sure. Oh yeah, and one tip another person gave me is whenever I end my stream, I need to raid other streams, like with my viewers, and like just connect with other people on the platform, other streamers, and you know, it's kind of like yeah, building relationships with other streamers, and you guys can like all in time like pool your followers. Yeah, I mean, can you define for me super normal stimulus? Just so we're on the same page. I mean, I can look it up. I can ask AI. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely a super normal stimulus. And it only gets worse. I was actually just speaking about this a couple sessions ago, and I think I was writing about it somewhere. But yeah, the idea that like basically social media, the way it's structured, it kind of like pushes people in general to more and more extremes. You know, you have the first guy who made a video and it's, I ate 10 bananas, right? And you're like, oh, that's cool. I don't know if I could eat 10 bananas. Like, that's a lot. And so you click on the link and you're like, oh, he does that. And then like no one else can really do that because you just saw a video. If someone else makes a video, I ate 10 bananas, you know, okay, I know people can do that. So then the next guy has to be like, I ate 100 bananas. And then you're like, whoa, that's interesting. I don't know if I could eat 100 bananas. So you click on it and you're like, wow, this guy ate 100 bananas. And so then no one can do that video anymore because that's been done. So like then someone has to say, I ate 1,000 bananas, right? Like the way it's structured to like keep people, like it's about novelty. People want to see new things often, and like they're not impressed by the old things. So there's just like a tendency of humans combined with the way this social media is designed to make things go more and more extreme. Hyperpalatability. That is also a word I have not heard. Foods that are engineered to be extremely appealing by combining high levels of fat, sugar, and salt. Yeah, I mean, this has been a problem for ages, right? I'm in New York City right now, and when I walk around, like down the block and see different restaurants, all of them advertise, like little delis and stuff. They offer, like, we have pizza, we have greasy cheeseburgers, we have burritos, right? Like, and they all say that to like every single one. They offer like the most delicious foods. It's just like, so do you care about people? You're just going to give greasy foods to people because that's what they want and that's what sells and that's what tastes. Like if I were to open a restaurant, I would make food that makes people healthy, right? Like I care about people, but it's like we're so disconnected that we just like want to make something that attracts people and it looks really palatable and delicious so they can buy it and pay us and we get money. It's just like all backwards. I think really, I read an article the other day, some guy was writing about how a big problem is that when we left community, you know, community used to be a source of moral development. You know, we'd have like stories from uncles and different people in the community who would like relate things and their experiences, and this would develop some sort of like moral foundation for people to work with. But now that we've separated ourselves, we've eroded any sense of like any ability to like grow the strong moral foundation. So now people's morals are more based on emotivism, like basically they have a feeling about something and then they try to rationalize it, and that's the basis of their moral system. And yeah, so I definitely do agree. There's definitely a deep like decay of morals. I mean, I didn't live in 1800, so I don't know if it's been a decay. Oh, it's another one. Can I ban this guy right away? /ban GG Zen Pen. Oh shit, I did back /ban. No, he did it. GG, I couldn't type it fast enough. /ban. Let's see if that works. I don't understand. Do my messages not like initiate? I have no power. I'm powerless. Such is life. But yeah, I just, the world is so much about everybody looking out after themselves that they forget that the best way to look after yourself is to consider everyone, not just yourself. Like think about that. If everybody in the planet thought about everybody else, wow, how good the world would be. Yeah, absolutely. Like not even really connection. Yeah. It's bad. It's bad. That's one thing, and that's part of the reason why I chose live streaming. I was thinking like, should I do live streaming or should I make YouTube videos where I have like, you know, I can just take a video and like I edit it. If I make mistakes, I can just cut it out and make this like nice polished professional video and upload the video. But I was like, that's not connective, right? Like, I might be able to make something that's better content, but I'm not really connecting with people. So then I ultimately chose live streaming for that reason and a few other reasons. But yeah, I really like the fact that we can just talk and connect. That's like the most important thing to me. But it is interesting. I think like looking at what is considered successful on Twitch, right? It's like when you get thousands of followers. But at that point, I mean, if you're just like one person, it's like hard to connect with thousands of people. Your chat is just blowing up. You can't possibly like have conversations with all these people. So it's like almost disconnective again. So what can you do? Well, the only thing you could do is like, okay, I'll change my chat so only subscribers can message me. But do I want to gate people based on like who has money? Like, I don't want just like people who can afford to pay to message me. Like, I don't know. So it's weird. Like, I don't know. I have to like wrap my head around like how this is going to work and how I'm going to grow and like how I can still connect with people. But ultimately, I think I want to actually shuffle people into like a Discord community where there's just like where we can all be there, we can all connect, and it's not just like me. I don't really want this to just be a me thing. I want this to be a community. And so that's why I named it Living Well Together, right? It's not like Living Well Nathan. But yeah. Freedom of association. What do you mean by that? Encompasses both an individual's right to join or leave groups voluntarily, the right of the group to take collective action to pursue the interests of its members, and the right of an association to accept or decline membership based on certain criteria. Sounds good to me. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know if this has been figured out on Twitch. The Twitch paradigm is still very much about money. It's about, yeah, I don't really know. I have Carl Jung, but only for school, for my psychology degree. Why? Do you recommend something? The Red Book. Cool, yeah, I'll check it out. I will add it to my e-reader. Right here. But yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the recommendation, and thanks for stopping by. As always, I'll see you around. Okay, yeah, I'll write that down as well. Peace. All right, well, welcome everyone new. Yapaholic, nice to see you. I think I'm going to take a break. It's been a while, and I'm getting really hungry. I must feed this body. So I think I'm going to call it for now. And like I said, I'm not really sure about the rest of this week. I'm going to put my, schedule up. Thank you. I think it's going to be a salad with some chickpeas. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so my schedule is, you can check out my schedule. It's on the link somewhere up there. But like I said, my father got injured, so I'm gonna go hang out with him for a few days. So it'll be a little bit different, but I'll put a notice on the schedule. But thanks for stopping by, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to raid somebody. I don't have any friends to raid. I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to do that later. But yeah, thanks for the follow. Actually, why didn't that show an alert? What? I'm confused. Or did it and I missed it? Maybe. I'll figure that out later. Whoa, I'm sideways. All right. Thanks for joining, and see you guys next time. Boop.